Okay, I'm live. Hooray, I figured it out. I had to reboot and get the camera going. If anybody's here to play, welcome to my channel. And I hope that this is going to work good for you and for me. Today, I'd like to work on the scavenger hunts that both Karla Caged and Janet M. Young have out. Janet's is due at the end of the beginning of April, I believe, and Karla's is just for the month. We have prompts to do each day, but I have been working on them for whatever I have. I've been putting in this little journal that I made to go with it. For the scavenger hunt for Janet, I am using a journal that I had previously made. I was working on a pink journal and I decided to change it so that I could use it for the scavenger hunt. Basically, I'm just adding the prompts from the scavenger hunt. Going to look through a few magazines, find some of the fodder for it. And with luck, I'll be able to get a couple of prompts done this evening. I don't know if anybody is here yet, but I would like to welcome anybody coming in to my channel. I'm learning, please bear with me. Again, I'm having difficulty because everything that's on my screen is backwards and I don't understand that. So when I look at the screen, I could get kind of confused. So I want to work on one of the prompts from Janet's scavenger list. There are 100 different items that she has requested us find. And the one that I am going to work on is number 64, button. So I have a card that I had done just as a journaling card, something to tuck in, space filler in a journal. And I'm going to use this to sew on some buttons and use it for the scavenger hunt. So it's quite a thick piece of paper, board. Not sure. It was originally a coaster put out by our local insurance company, Don't Drink and Drive, over the holidays. And since that's not a problem for me, since I don't drink and drive, I decided to use the coasters as a nice backing for some art. So since it's so thick, I know that my poor little needle here is not going to go through it very well. So I'm going to use an awl and I'm going to punch the holes in so that I can get these sewn down. I think I'm going to need a little bit more thread than that. I have this wonderful thread holder that my husband made. He does these for the local museum. It's a Mennonite heritage village, and they do hand quilting there. And the ladies use these to hold their threads so that they have easy access to them. And these are available should anybody be interested in purchasing one. Just give me a PM and I will hook you up. Of course, I'm in Canada, so the shipping could be a little bit more expensive. We did find a company called Running Red, and they go down to the States and do pickups in Pembina, North Dakota. So I could have them drop it off there and be shipped to the States. And from what I understand, it should be a more reasonable price. I hope everybody is having a great start to their new year. Oh, that's going to be very rough and hard on my thread. I have an emery board here. I think I'm just going to take that down just a little bit so that it's not going to be too bad. There we go. So I did tie knots in it. I'm going to put glue on and then possibly put a backing on this so that it can be used as a journaling card, a piece of paper with some lines or something. So I'm just going to slow stitch these buttons on. Nothing fancy, just up and down, over and over and over again. How did everybody celebrate their New Year's? I watched a lot of the streamathons that were going on from the wonderful artist ladies. I could do a link in my description if anybody would like to see some of the beautiful work that they created and the challenges they've given us. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful way to spend the new year with lots of online friends and wonderful crafting ideas. So as I say, I'm just going to go up and down a few times. For some reason, my thread is kind of nodding on me. Thread has a tendency, if it's older and it's on a spool for a long period of time, when you use it, it has a tendency to twist and then knot. So even though you have some wonderful thread, it could become a bit of an irritation when you're trying to work with it because you get these wonderful lumpy knot things. Oh, goodness. This is why I'm talking about putting a backing on here so you can't see that mess that I'm making. Then I'm just going to come up and under. I have all these ugly loops. But that's okay. I will cover it with a piece of lined paper. And then I'm just going to go around the button a couple of times and then down the next hole to the back. Maybe. Just like if you were stitching it onto a shirt or something. Okay, so I have one button on. This could also be used as the circle prompt. When I did this print, I used a lot of circles. I probably dipped a lid or something in some paint and did the circles that way. Again, I've got sharp edge, so I'm going to use that emery board and take it down again. Oh, I hear my hubby moving upstairs. He's probably going to tell me nobody can hear me, which is fine because there's nobody here to hear me currently at the moment. Is there anybody else working on the scavenger hunt from Janet and from Karla? Karla's scavenger hunt is more of a glue book than a journal, which is fine. I've never done a glue book before, and it's a learning experience for me because I want to embellish and turn it into an art journal. There we go with the loops again, Kim. What the heck? There we go. I've never glue booked before, so this is a learning curve for me. Not sure I'm a fan yet. I understand, the theory behind it, and it is relaxing gluing, but I tend to want something a little bit more fancy and can't say useful because this could be used for a multitude of sins, I'm sure. I can do a bit of a flip through of those if anybody's interested. I'll do a flip through anyway because nobody's here. And again, just take those burrs off. I had thought maybe of putting some sequins on these buttons to bling it up a little bit, but I can always do that with some Yay glitter glue, or I have some glitter vinyl from doing an ugly sweater for my grandson for Christmas. I have found that the vinyl glues onto paper very nicely. That one I sewed pretty tight against the board, so it's not leaving me room to maneuver another underneath. Go around the button. I do have a cutting board, a plastic cutting board under my papers, just in case I do go through. It protects my tabletop. And of course, I'm going to do 5 buttons because I like to work on odd numbers. I have a girlfriend who does floral design, and she's all about the odd numbers for that. So she's got me convinced that everything needs an odd number for some reason. So I just smile and nod and go along with it because I'm just not, I don't do that kind of work either. I might pull out the gel plate and try working on the purple and turquoise challenge that is being put on in PM Artist Studios by a couple of the people there. They do color challenges monthly, and this month it is dark purple and turquoise. And I think that could produce some very interesting contrast on the jelly plate. I am by no means a professional jelly plate person, but I do have fun. I make a mess, and that's as much fun as getting good prints for me. Oh, I went way far over there. All right. This is the last button I'm putting on. Then, as I say, I'm going to put a piece of lined paper on the back, just in case somebody wants to use it as a journaling card. I like making my own lined paper. I know people think that it's kind of, you can, lined paper is so readily available. Why would I want to make my own? I just find that this way I can do it in any color that I wish for any kind of journal that I'm working on. Nobody's watching. That's okay. This is good training for me. I need to learn how to talk to myself while I do these sorts of things, the live streams. So I will just put this to the side now. And there I have my one for button, which is number 64. So I will cross it off. And I can't remember who else was working on a journal, but they cut out all the little prompts. They printed it out twice, one to mark off and one to use as the so that she could keep track of what she had accomplished. It does make a mess, that paper, but that's fine. And so that button, I will glue that down. This is my glue of choice, Elmer's Glue All. And I'm just going to label it like this. 64 button. And then I'm going to see if I have some lined paper that I would like to use. I have this. This is kind of fun. I will do that and glue it down. And I'll have the nice lining on the back. And it will cover up these ugly threads that I have created. Let's just pull this out and glue on here. And we will hope that it does stick. I have a scraping card. It's an old parking pass from a place that I used to work at. It was when I worked as a lunchroom lady. At a high school in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Okay, so I'm going to find something to weight this down. Now that the buttons are on it, it will be harder. But we will figure that out. Anyway, I will just put it up here with this big book on it. And that will help dry it up, I hope. So that will be another piece for the Scavenger Hunt by Janet Nash. No, not Janet Nash, pardon, sorry, Janet Young. And this is the journal I'm using. So I've got postage done already. I've got map paper and something about trains. That's a Union Pacific rail line map. This journal was made out of all old envelopes. I have pockets. I have a decorative paper clip, which incorporates ribbon and strings. I have flowers and washi tape. I have a tip in and a page of white. I did this envelope, a folded envelope. So it's a page of white, and I'm going to leave it just as it is. I have the rag flag and candy and gum wrappers. I have a tree and I have leaves. This has circles. I'm not sure if you can see it. This is an embossing folder I have, and it's all circles. So I used that, and I made a tuck spot with it. And then I have a stack of tissue paper. I have a cluster done, coffee or tea page, and it's a type of foil. It's more like a mylar, I guess. Could also be considered a tip-in. I've got a little heart note thing there. I have a page from a children's book. I haven't labeled that one yet. I have fabric or fiber. I have some cheesecloth tucked under this key. Create a border. I'll put it in the screen so that people can see. I have create a border. So I had some border bits that I had made. Paper dolls, men in thongs. I could find men in underwear, but not men in thongs, other than this strange warrior dude. And that's what I have so far for the scavenger hunt for Janet. I do have also outer space. I have a napkins that have in the screen have stars, and it looks like outer space. So I put that on a card, and I will finish decorating that. So I will leave this sit and hope that that will glue down nicely. And I will do a quick flip through of the one from Karla Kagedfish. So she wanted us to do something each day of the month of January. And so day one was something Egyptian, sunset, pineapple, tape, and owl. So I have a sunset, I have an owl, I've got pineapple, I've got tape, and I have to find something Egyptian yet. Day two was supposed to be someone famous, so I've got the Housewives. Can't remember what that's like, the show. A rose, ice cream. I still need music note, which I have here. Let's just ink the edge and then glue that in. And I still need a cloud. I have these old markers that I'm not even sure that they're available anymore. I've been hoarding art and craft supplies for a bazillion years, and this is one of them. It was a Faber-Castell Cato mark. I mean, it's a permanent marker. Not sure exactly how old it is. And, oh, that has interesting notes, which is nicer. I think I'll put this side up because it's got so many wild chords on it. If you come and watch this for a replay, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to ask questions or anything, you can please do that in the comments. All right. So we will put the music note here. And again, with glue books, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be like a rhyme or reason, or if I'm supposed to do it collage style or just stick things in. I have no idea. So I still need to do a cloud, but I do have the music notes. And then day three, it was a fork, a barn, and money. This is a 5 million debit note. Somebody had sent that to me in one of my swaps. So I still need something that smells good and a skull for day three. Day four is something handwritten. Well, I've got lots of handwritten bits around. I just need to find. I'll do that when I've got less clutter. A keyhole, a superhero. So I found Batman in a, I think it was a Costco flyer or something. Train, that's never any problem in this house. We have lots of train magazines. And coffee, I haven't done anything for that yet. And since it's the 5th, I should be working on that. So it's something gold, a gargoyle, a football, and a shark. So for something gold, as I said, I've got some gold vinyl that I had used to work on my grandson's ugly sweater. So I'll just try cutting out this star that I cut out. Trim it up. And it'll be negative space, and I will glue that down. So there's my something gold. I love how with the scavenger hunts, really, that there are no rules. You just have fun. Use your imagination for the prompts. So that was something gold, day 5. I will mark that. Gargoyle, pumpkin, and a shark. That's an interesting combination. And then day 6, someone wearing a hat is the only one I've got. I still need teapot, taxi, perfume, and a planet. Day 7, I've got the eagle for it. Day 8, I have a vase. Where's the vase, Kim? Oh, there's the vase, sorry. I've got a pig, a boot, and yarn. Day 9, I have the camel and the strawberry. Day 10, I have a cupcake, a doll, a flag, and I'm missing a mask, and something from a circus. Day 11, I have the clown and the swan. Day 12, something with wings. I do love bugs, so that's one of my love bugs. And a king. Day 13, I have the jar. Day 14, a piano, a bear, and a nest. Day 15, I have a lighthouse and a dinosaur. Oh, and I have a seed catalog. So I pulled that out so that I could get my tomato. Not sure which one I want to use. How about one that's sliced so that we can tell that it's a tomato, because a lot of times you can't tell which is a tomato or an apple or... I have somebody watching. Hello. Thanks for popping in. Haven't seen you in forever. Okay, so I'm going to just cut out these tomatoes. And I will glue those in. And that goes with the dinosaurs. Let's do it right side up. Is there a right side up? Not really. And we'll mark off tomato. If any of you do... Oh, the scavenger hunt, what's it all about? Some of the ladies that I follow on YouTube are doing scavenger hunts. Janet has done them for a few years. I've done one in the past, and I decided to do this one. So I can grab my past scavenger hunt book. This one's from 2021, and she puts out all these prompts, and so you make a book out of it. Like this one was a necklace, was one of the prompts, and then use foil, your favorite toy as a child, friend in the box. So that would be somebody that I talk to through chats on the live streams. Use envelopes, Zentangles, something from friends. When you do swaps, we do artist trading card swaps, or we do tag swaps, different kinds of swaps. So a lot of times when you do the swaps, you receive other wonderful little bits along with the trading cards, etc. And a lot of times you get wonderful bits of art. This swap, though, was doing Twinchies, which is a 2x2 inch piece of art. So it's got all the prompts. I had to do a pink page, a postcard, a maze, coloring book paper, something found, cartoon characters, a note to yourself we had to do. Hey, Brenda, nice to see you. I'm just explaining how the scavenger hunts work. This is my scavenger hunt book from 2021 from Janet Young. And so some of the prompts, this was an all white page. And of course, it had toilet paper. So I put in some of my pressed toilet paper embellishments. That was the very first video I ever did. Somebody asked me how I do these toilet paper embellishments. And of course, everything on the page was white. Post-it notes, letters from the alphabet. So I managed to do the entire 100 prompts from 2021. And this year I'm trying again. We had to draw a map, origami, favorite artist page. Well, I have so many favorite artists that it was really hard to do. So I tried to do a little bit of representatives of their work, like Dale Chihuly. This one is, I know his name. He's a Canadian artist, and he does a lot of, his name's in there. Let's put the glasses on and maybe I'll be able to tell you. Chris Dyer. He does like skateboards. He's got a line of clothing, and it's all really wild, bright colors. Frida Kahlo, Stephen Ferris, also another Canadian artist. Jackie Travers. She's a Winnipeg artist. So I don't have one favorite artist, so I had to kind of do a page dedicated to all of them. We had to do a specimen card. So I did Dryerus linterus. I used dryer lint. I had a lot of fun doing this one. We had to do a zine. So I did a zine of Guide to the Goonies, Sherm the Striped Shrew, Gordy the Gruff Grouse, Pauline the Pretty Plover, Faye, the fish-tailed finch. I used a fishtail actually for that one. Barb, the booted bittern. Sherry, the sad shrike. And we had to do like a mini thing. So this is like a mini bookmark. Glenda, the goofy goose. So that's what the scavenger hunt's about, Christine. You do you make up what the prompt kind of says to you. This one, I believe. Oh, we had to do something broken, so I did the Legend of Frankenurn. I don't know if you remember, Christine, when I was doing that urn and I was doing in that small doodle painting stuff that I do. And I was just finished it and I was putting flowers in it and I dropped it. So it was that red clay from Mexico. I don't know if it's on my end, if it's freezing. I haven't noticed. Anyway, this was red clay and I couldn't get it back together for love nor money. And I phoned the local ceramic shop and they said to use silicone, like clear white silicone. So that's what I did. We had to do altered paper clip. So I have a snowy owl altered paper clip. We had to do also a ransom note, and this one you can appreciate, Christine. Dear musician, your G string is being held for ransom. Use 500 C notes to regain harmony. And so I whited out the entire G lines on the staff, and it's signed middle C. So that was my 2021 scavenger hunt, and this one's not going to be quite as elaborate because I have a few things on the go that need to get done as well. This one I really devote a lot of time to. You started the hunt 3 years ago and finished one 2 years ago. Are you working on this one, Brenda? If there's anything train related that you need for the scavenger hunt, because we had to do something with trains and you can't find anything, let me know. I can always send you something from one of these issues of Train magazines, because this is pretty much the only magazine aside from CAA that we get in the house. So anyway, that's kind of what the scavenger hunts are about, Christine. It's about having fun. There are no rules, which is an awesome thing. You interpret them the way you want. You can do them in journal form. You could do them in card form, however you would like to do them. Oh my goodness. No, I believe that. You're an assistant to the special needs school? I haven't worked at a school, but I've worked with people with varying abilities for many years. I was an employment coach and I taught cooking and safety and budgeting to people with varying abilities. So I can understand that it's a lot of work and it's tiring. Yeah, Christine, it's good because you can work at your own pace. That's why, like, when Karla said each day, it's like, no, I'm going to do everything that I can right away. And of course, I made my own little booklet for it out of scrap papers, because we all know when you do paper crafts, you have lots of scrap papers. It is awesome, Brenda. I have an affinity for individuals with varying abilities. And then I moved from that to being a recreation manager at a personal care home. Thank you, Christine, as are you. Christine and I used to work together with at one of the local places where day programs, and she was a house manager, a home manager. So we have both been in the field. It is, and tiring. Oh yeah, the olden days. It's been a while. It really has, thinking about it. Really has. Early 2000s. Yes, no, somewhere around there. Christine does beautiful paintings, and she does felting, some incredible felting. She also is a storyteller and a musician. The olden days. Show you more. What do you need to? What do you want more? What can I show you? What I've been working on? You need to come out and play. One of the prompts for this year was buttons. So I just sewed buttons on a card, and because my thread's so old, it was making lots of ugly lumps. So I had to glue some stuff. More of my work. What have I been working on lately? Let me think. I did a journal. It's upstairs. Oh, I did the journals that I did for Flood the Streets with Art. I love Zentangles. Yes. This one is a little journal from one of the train magazines for Flood the Streets with Art this year. I dropped off 3 or 4, I can't remember. But anyway, I took the magazine and I cut it in half this way. And then I folded the pages in like this. So I've got nice little journals. So this one, I didn't get finished in time. So it's just a little journal. It's got some of my buildings in it. As I say, I've been making my own lined paper. I've had a just take, a piece of like brown paper or whatever, and I've got some thick old pieces of mat board in different sizes. And so I just use pencil crayon and I draw lines on either side of it and make lined paper. Oh, that's my Cricut. Yes, I'm still working with that. This is a gel print. You would like to gel print. Yeah, like Lori showed us on New Year's Eve. I also wrap stones. I Zentangle. Thank you. I have some more gel prints. I'll show you the ones that I have done recently. Of course, down in my dungeon, that place below stairs that is, you can't, it's like a hoarder's paradise. I did this gel print. It has metallic golds and purples. And I don't know if that's going to be a journal cover or on a card or then this one is just a background right now. I still want to add more to it, but I need to let the paint sit. This one is black and silver. Bit of color underneath. I have glue stuck on my fingers. It is like a zebra. Man, this one's purples. There's a metallic purple in there. And I believe a metallic copper. This one I cut a stencil. It's a repetitive pattern. And that was the first time I was using it. I was just experimenting. But again, probably a background for my floral cards. We're not sure what I did with this one, but I also have a bundle of these bits of mylar or plastic, whatever you want to call it, that I use, and I just lay across the plate. And then that's another stencil I cut. This one I am absolutely in love with. I put the paints down and then I took a comb, or a lot of times I'll take like the old gift cards or whatever and make them into a comb kind of thing and then drag it through. So this one is purples and silver and gold metallic. Don't know if, but I think that would make a really nice background for one of my floral cards. No, I haven't contacted Heidi. Thank you, Brenda. This one's just a mess. I was just, that's actually a roll off from the brayer. Again, I just swirl through. I also have like the small gel plates. So I was just doing some runoff on that. Another one with the swirl through. That's in oranges and yellows. And then this one, I finally got new flooring in my kitchen. So we have lots of leftover bits of linoleum. So I've been carving into the linoleum and making like a stamp or a texture plate, whatever you want to call it, out of leftover pieces of linoleum. I'm going to grab a couple. And so I use them on the gel plate. And that's what these lines are. So I've got quite a few different ones. I've got some square ones, the long ones. Yes, lino cuts. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing with. Gel prints and stenciling and journals, did my grandson a rude Christmas sweater because that's what he wanted. So I used the Cricut to do that. Yeah, so little journals. I've been doing quite a few like little journals. I'm fixated on my little houses and stuff right now. More of my lined paper. I think I like the journals and stuff so much right now because I can use any of my um, things that I like to do. And I'm not limited just to painting or just to gel printing. I could do my crocheting. Sandra asked me to do some little Goonie birds. So I got my little pecker line going with my little crocheted birds. It's all just play. I actually have a friend that comes over and crafts with me. We usually just sit and crochet and visit. And she started junk journaling. She said I have inspired her to start. So she's coming over for a play date in a couple of weeks. But you should come out and play, Christine. You really should. You've wanted to attack that room or get lost in it for a while. Come out for a weekend or something. Yeah, but you're really busy too. Yeah, we're in Canada. I live in a small town outside of Winnipeg, and Christine's right in Winnipeg. I can always pick you up. What gasp? Yeah, come out for a weekend if you're not working on the weekend. I could come in and pick you up on a Friday or Saturday and take you back on Monday. As long as we don't get snowed in or something silly. Do you get lots of snow in southern Michigan, Brenda? We can definitely talk more about that. I can even cook vegetarian. So is it a heavy, wet snow that you get, Brenda? We've been having incredible hoarfrost the last few days. I would love to be able to go out on a foggy night and take pictures of trees covered in hoarfrost that are by streetlights and do a whole series of horrors of Manitoba. Okay, so you get kind of like the same kind of weather that Toronto gets, Brenda? We haven't had too bad a winter so far, Christine. My neighbor's having a bonfire tonight. No, it's not an Ontario winter. It's not a BC winter either. Darn near everybody's winters are nicer than ours. How often do you go on patrol, Christine? Good night, Brenda. Thank you for stopping in. I'm really glad you popped in. Sweet dreams. Christine, how often do you go out on patrol? Are you still patrolling? Yeah. I guess you just never know what the weather's going to bring you. How long have I been streaming? Almost an hour. Wow. I'm so glad you popped in. This is great. Can you chat on Messenger? Like, can we do almost like a video chat in Messenger, Christine? Excellent. Right, that's right. You can't use Messenger. Is it with people with varying abilities? Awesome. Are you enjoying it? And is it just during the week or is it on weekends too? Okay. So by hooking up with resources, is that including like training kind of things? Dressing for success, that kind of stuff? Awesome. That's so awesome. Are you still involved with the North End deliveries? That's really cool. Really cool. Is this sponsored through the government or a not-for-profit organization? That's really awesome that that's still going. Yeah, not having a vehicle's hard. I am. I am. Been having a bit of issues with the breathing. I was volunteering at the local thrift store in Lorette, but it's really, really hard on my breathing. Third hand smoke on the clothes, cat dander, that kind of thing really, really affected my breathing. So I had to give that up, unfortunately. But I really enjoyed it. And as usual, just the regular arthritis stuff. Some days good, some days not. But 99.9% of the time, I'm in my house and I'm happy and cozy and playing with bits of paper and paint and, you know, I'm never bored. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I've been admiring the stuff that you've been baking and playing with. It's like, oh my goodness. I'm trying hard not to bake anything other than bread. I've lost 35 pounds and I want to keep it off. Have you taken a class on the fancy baking or are you just doing it on your own? No, I could live on bread. I haven't given up my bread, I have to admit. That's one thing I just can't give up. But I mean, because I make my own bread too, I don't put as much salt in it and I use multigrain cereals in it and oats and whole wheat flour. It was the potato chips that I had a hard time giving up. It really makes a difference. It really does. I put in ground flax and oats and whole wheat flour and like a Red River cereal. Yeah, that's a big weakness. And then instead of using like milk, I use powdered milk. All right, you're off. I'm going to shut down the video too. It's been an hour. I'm really glad you popped in. Thank you very much. It was great connecting with you. We have to figure out how to connect so that you can come out for a weekend. The powdered milk, it doesn't have all the fats and everything in it, but it still gives the proteins and the calcium. I want to start doing this more often because I was at all the different things on New Year's with the ladies that I'm connected to through YouTube and Facebook. I've got a lot of new people who have subscribed to the channel. So I figured that I needed to start doing this again. So I'd like to do lives a couple of times a week and then maybe just some how-to videos, just pop them on once in a while. But I need to learn how to do that. I did have great software for it, but it was on my old computer and it's no longer available. So I'm just doing lives, flying by the seat of my pants. If I get a schedule set up for doing it, I can always let you know. Yeah. Just search for me on YouTube. You're welcome. Thank you for popping in. I miss you. I miss you singing to me. Take care. Love you too. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you for popping in. And if anybody has any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to pop it in the comments. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. I can't move to Winnipeg. You come out here. And it's a wrap.